It's been too fucking long since we made a car video, and I'm already demonetized because I started with a fucking. Well, let's keep on with the fucking. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my garage in 2022. That's right, I even know the year that we're in. My name is Alejandro Salomon, and welcome to Salomondrin. We used to make car videos about cars all the time, and it was so much fun and so great. But now everybody does it. And now it's boring and repetitive, and it's not creative, and it's not doing anything for me. I've taken myself away from this format, doesn't do anything for me anymore, but whenever I have the ability of doing something with cars, I'll do it. I got a lot of people asking me if I could show you guys my Rivian. I will make a video on the Rivian. I just wanted to give you a garage update so we can start on this and understand what the situation is right here. Also remember, I'm just Mexican, so I can't have money. So I'm so poor now, so poor. American standards, I'm very poor. So now let's enjoy the poor garage tour. In all seriousness, I moved to Austin. These are my cars. This is straight up my cars and the Rivian. That's it. I have an SF90 that's coming. And obviously I have a car in Mexico and other stuff, the Beetle, whatnot. But other than that, I don't really enjoy having that many cars anymore. Ever since I went to Monaco about 3 to 4 years ago, I think it was. And I saw the Formula E race. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop this bullshit. I'm gonna stop contributing to the crap that everybody's contributing to the world. And let's find an alternative with it. Let's get more into electric cars, and hopefully that'll become a trend. Everybody told me to fuck off. I did, but the electric cars became a trend. So y'all can suck my fucking dick, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. But it took this long for me to get the cars. It took really forever to get the cars because, as you guys know, we had the pandemic, and also it's not that easy to build all these fucking electric cars. I know that you all think should be easier, but it's a little bit harder than putting a Lego together, guys. So just think about that for a second. Maybe that'll help you. We haven't done a car video in so long, but here we are. And the reason why I'm doing this garage update, guys, is so that you understand what's going on with the cars right now. Mostly so that there's a little bit of context, because then I'm going to do a video of my Rivian. A lot of you guys have messaged me and said, Alejandro, can you please make a video of your Rivian? There's 3 of us that really wanted to see it. And guess what, motherfuckers? All 3 of you are going to get that video. But before, I wanted to give you a little insight into my life, what's changed, what's different, whatnot. Number 1, since the pandemic, I became a completely different person. I don't like the same things I used to like. I like living in a completely different way. So one of those changes was I want to focus more on living with my wife, my house, my animals, enjoy my life, rather than showing people my life and all that stuff. So that was something that I did, and I'm loving the fuck out of that. Another thing is, I went to Monaco 3-4 years ago. I can't remember. I made a video and I told you guys, I'm going to go with all electric cars. I want to change a little bit of the culture. I want to do things differently. Everybody's so focused on everything else, but I just want to be a good influence at some point to some people. Even if some people just buy an electric car instead of one of these, feel good. And a lot of people mocked me, and a lot of people said, fuck you, and that's not going to work. But guess what? Didn't work for my channel, but it did work in real life. There's a lot more electric cars than I ever thought there would be by the year 2022, and that makes me really happy. That means we're all gonna burn and die still, but it's gonna take like 20 years instead of like 15. So that's good. Another thing is, these cars are amazing. This feels like the finished product. But either way, before jumping into these, let's start with the traditional. This is my 992 Turbo S. I love this thing. I bought this thing exactly a year ago. Oh no, am I lying? A year ago? Maybe I did buy it a year ago. Here in Texas, this was the first car I ever bought in Texas while being in Texas, because my other Ferrari, the Pista, I bought from the same dealer. Shout out to Keith. This is one of my favorite cars of all the time. This can do like lady on the street and a freak in the bed better than anybody else on the street. Comfort mode, amazing. And then you put it in Sport Plus, it becomes a racetrack car. And it sounds unbelievable, even though it's a turbo. That flat 6 engine with all those beautiful horsepower. I love the way it sounds. It sounds like when you're pushing it, it sounds like a GT3 RS. I don't understand how Porsche did this. This might be the most perfect car they ever did. And remember, the 911, how many times, for how many years have they only made the same car better and better and better and better and better? Love that. Love that about this car. And I think this is the peak of it. I don't understand how they can make this car any better. Even the interior is fucking incredible. Like, they knocked it the fuck out of the park. It looks legitimately so well put together. Everything feels expensive. My wife loves driving this car, which I never thought she did. Yeah, you know, because Porsches are so manly and whatnot. She loved it so much. I love it because she's like, hey, I'm gonna go to Pilates, I'm gonna take the Porsche. I'm like, that's why we have these cars, so we can fucking enjoy them. So 992 Turbo S, one of my favorite all-time dream cars. Finally have it. Don't regret it. This is something very cool, especially now that I live in Austin. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I went to an NFT event in my Porsche, and I was so fucking embarrassed by it. Just, I don't know, like, I'm 37 years old, showing up in a loud fucking car where there's kids that have pictures that are worth millions of dollars felt kind of stupid. I couldn't stop myself but think, dude, when I get that SF90, what the fuck am I gonna do? Because imagine just showing up to these things in an SF90 in Texas. Not in LA where everybody's like a cocksucker, but in Texas. Like, I'm just gonna show, hey kids, I know you're all 21 years old, and I know that you have pictures that are worth millions of dollars, but look at my SF90. Like, it feels so stupid. So I have an SF90 coming too, and the SF90 should be here in about 2 months. We'll see how that goes. It's a different relationship that I have with cars right now, and specifically right now, because of what I just said and because of everything. A lot of you guys think I'm under house arrest, which is funny because you guys always come up with the best shit. I'm not. I just don't like leaving my house. I enjoy this. I work out of my house. I make a lot of videos. I get to live like I'm on vacation and not deal with anybody. So it's fucking awesome. Let's jump into my Tesla. All electric, 1,000 horsepower, all-wheel drive, monster. Drives itself, looks so good. I'm sorry, it's all covered in yellow. I don't understand what happens in Texas, but apparently it rains yellow. I know it's all the pollen, but it's fucking crazy. This is one of my favorite cars of all time. This is something I never see myself getting rid of, a Tesla. I'm not saying this one specifically because I want the Cybertruck. Once the Cybertruck comes, this is gone. I don't need that many cars. That's something that I've made very, very clear in my life, and specifically within YouTube. I think it's fucking cancer that we're all just buying cars every week and you guys think that's a real thing. So I just rather have my, you know what, my two boring cars, because I'll talk about that in a second. But look at these. These are my two boring cars. I love them. They do everything that I need to be doing. They're the fastest two fucking cars in the world, which also helps. And, hang on a second. We're not going to install the update right now, sir, but we will later. And the steering wheel is also so fucking cool in this thing. I don't understand what Elon Musk has in his head and how he thinks, but he definitely fucking knows what consumers want. He knows, like, from a point of view of a kid, he understands what we all desire from within. And this is one of those things. Really well put together car. The electronics are insane. Obviously, technology's amazing. The seats are very comfortable. The quality of the build is so much better than before. You can't even fucking compare it to the old cars. This feels like a nice, fancy fucking car that does a lot. I love the range. I love the speed. I think the speed is freaky. I don't think regular people should buy this car and just use it thinking that they can control it. It's quite crazy. And also, I want to say this needs bigger brakes. Way bigger brakes. And not, I saw the video of the idiot that took it to the track and was like, I can't believe it didn't brake on the track. You're driving around a 5,000 million pound fucking car, idiot. What do you think is gonna happen? If Aventador's brakes melt, why is the Tesla not gonna do that? Like, all right, I'm sorry, but this needs bigger brakes. It's too much power, and it also gives you that false sense of like it'll stop because the brakes grab good at first, but the car is too heavy. There's a lot of mass, and yeah. If you're an asshole and you drive like an idiot, you should put bigger brakes on your Tesla Plaid. For sure. For sure. Amazing fucking car. Amazing customer service. It's a Tesla. Let's go on to the Rivian now, which is interesting. So now this pretty lady is my Rivian. She's a mid-size pickup truck. And you don't really get the size by looking at it. You need to be sitting in the car to understand this. All electric, 4-wheel drive, 850 horsepower. It weighs twice as much as a Range Rover. But inside, it's kind of like the same size as a Range Rover. You have a frunk, you have your trunk that's covered, all electric. I'm gonna show you guys this whole car, everything in a video. This is why I wanted to do the garage update so that it wouldn't come cold out of nowhere. So I'll show you this car. But I think it's one of the coolest cars I've ever seen in my life. The build quality in this thing is absolutely phenomenally insane. I couldn't believe it. When I got the car, this is not a joke. When I got the car, I was like, I'm gonna flip it. It's been so long. Like, I'm not interested anymore in having all these cars, whatever. And Belen was like, let's just see it. You ordered it so long ago. So I received the car, and as soon as I received the car, Belen went on for a drive, which she never does. And she fucking absolutely loved this thing. To the point where she's like, maybe you should sell the Tesla. I'm like, bitch, I ain't selling no Tesla. The only thing that's living is this fucking Rivian. But every time I drive it, I have a harder and harder time because it's really, really well put together. Like, unbelievably well put together. The materials are insane. The finishes are insane. The looks are insane. People on the road, and this is something I don't like now, people on the road want to ask you all the time, like, what is that? It's so cool. How is it? Like, they all want to know more about it. I think these guys killed it. I knew that they would make a good car because my boy was in the fucking putting cars together business, and he killed that. Amazing technology, really fucking fast. We'll go for a drive. But talk about big brakes. This shit needs like 80 Lamborghini Urus brakes. It's so heavy, I'm so terrified of letting Belen drive it and think that it'll brake like a normal car. And it's a hard concept to understand because a lot of people that haven't been in a car accident or haven't been in a car accident recently or haven't lost control of their car, they don't fully understand how much of a difference it makes, all of the weight in this car and how it feels when you're braking and then how it feels when you really need to brake hard. This is my only concern. The car as a whole is beautiful. It's a perfect size. Inside feels like a Range Rover. It legitimately does size-wise and everything. It's a very comfy ride. It's very quiet. It's amazing. They did a hell of a fucking job. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my garage update right here. We're gonna end it at the Rivian, and then we'll talk about it. I'll show you all of the fucking features. But if you haven't seen him, go check out Doug Demura's video. Pretty good.